KMES English Medium Junior College welcome its students for the online lectures of philosophy, first standard 11. For the chapter second, what is, how do we know and what to do. For the topic, the main branches of philosophy. Students, today we are going to study about the main branches of philosophy. The main branches of philosophy that we are going to study in this chapter are six. They are metaphysics, epistemology, ethics, logic, aesthetic, and humanities. These are the six branches of philosophy that we are going to study in this chapter. Metaphysics. All beings strive to survive. An organism becomes aware of the world and the thing beside itself in course of time. He gathers food, builds shelter, finds meal, and self-protection. This primary awareness grows into genius curiosity about the world in the better evolved human intellect. If we go to a marketplace to buy something, our product attracts our attention. The immense variety arouses interest, and we spend hours exploring the whole market. Human beings feel the desire to go beyond his or her need and instinct and find out what all the vast universe consists of. And these sparkle a spot yet profound question. What is? It is simple, you say. All that you can experience by the five senses is. That is, it exists. In addition, all that you can be felt, our thought, sentiment, wish, idea exists as well. But think a while, all this means by I, reality exists. World appear yellow to a person with jaundice, but it isn't yellow in it. We often have illusion or hallucination, and while calling them illusions, we are trying to assert that these phenomena are not real. That is why philosophers feel the need to undertake the in-depth study of existence, reality, Satya. The branch of philosophy that performs the study of existence, that is Satya, is called metaphysics. Satya, reality, is that which has a peripheral existence. It is important for metaphysics to find the difference between which truly is real and that which appears to be real. Metaphysics consider many observing questions, such as what form the thing we experience, what is the nature of this underlying integrant, the fundamental being, the cause, mutation in this being, and why. A detailed discussion of this question gives birth to one more fundamental question. How do we know what is or what is not? Because, amusing enough, we answer what is, based on our knowledge, but something that we think exists does not really exist. A mirage is an illusion of water. We think there is a water, but in reality there isn't. Epistemology. Every experience does not give us knowledge. Sometimes experience produces misappreciation. Sometimes they reduce us. This begins so when we can definitely say that we know that which exists. What is knowledge? How can it be defined? What are the means Instrument of knowledge. What are the types of knowledge? The branch of philosophy that addresses this question is called epistemology. Most of us generally believe that we more or less know the world, that we can make sense of the world. We maintain some notion about what the world is. What all does it contain? How all it contains are interrelated. Our notions and beliefs shape our life, our behavior. Our fundamental beliefs determine the way we treat the living and the non-living world around us. We judge our actions to be good, bad, right, wrong based on this belief. Those who believe that every living organism has a right to live and no organism should be hurt unnecessarily do not harm any organism easily. But those who believe that human being is the supreme being and thus has a right to use other organisms for their benefits do not care for the harm done to other organisms. They believe change from person to person, culture to culture, and from time to time. Yet everybody lives in accordance with their belief and value. That are all outcome of this belief. Ethics. Human life is not governed by desire and instinct alone. Thus they have many choices, many courses of action that are chosen all the time. Human is capable of making choice, of considering not particularly practical utility or loss and gain, but also the moral value that she upholds. He is capable and accustomed to evaluate an action to be good or bad, right or wrong, just or unjust. The branch of philosophy is known as ethics. Ethics conduct the study of these concepts. Why is moral behavior? What is moral behavior? Why it is necessary? What does it really mean for something to be morally good or morally right? How should one behave? How should one live? Must one be mindful of the society, the entire humanity, or himself alone? Must one be considerate about all living things or the entire universe? Ethics goes in such question. In summary, what is? How do we do? We know. And how do it affect human life and are the three questions rendering vital important by philosophy, which grow into metaphysics, epistemology, and existence. These branches are extensions of similar trunks and are originally related with one another. This branch of tree are a part of the tree itself. One must remember that the branches of philosophy are connected to philosophy and all of its other branches. Mimamsa. The word Mimamsa originates in the Sanskrit verbal root, man matam. This root means to think, to ponder. The man in this root does not signify the mind. The antakarana, man, that here means is to examine, to search. Philosophy in this way probes into various subjects. Metaphysics probe into real. Inquiry into knowledge is called epistemology. The inquiry into human conduct is called ethics. Logic. Logic and aesthetics are two more branches of philosophy along with metaphysics, epistemology and ethics. Greek philosopher and Plato discipline Aristotle is said to be the father of logic. Medieval times were greatly influenced by logic. Formula logic emerged in the modern time. In the olden time, logic was defined as the science of law of thought. But later it was admitted that this definition of logic does not hold true if the act of thinking comprised of memorizing, imagining, etc. Logic study the interrelationship between the proposition and conclusion that can be inferred from a certain set of propositions. Therefore, it comes in to be known as the science of reasoning. All of us think and draw conclusions on the basis of what we know, but our way of thinking and infer may not always be correct. Logic studies the correct and the incorrect method of infer. We present argument in a discussion or a heated debate. We examine argument presented by others. Argumentation is a form of act of inference. The study of logic trains us in making logical consistent, rigorous argument and in-depth, inconsistent and logically honest. In other person's argument, the study of logic is undoubtedly useful to philosophy as well as to many other disciplines. It also acts as a sustainable aid in everyday life. We human beings are thinking animals, and the study of logic is indispensable if we wish to realize the complete potential of our faculty of thinking. Whatever there is true, there is this logic. Aesthetic. Aesthetic is concerned with beauty. Does beauty catch you? But where does it lie? What does it mean for something to be beautiful? Does beauty lie in the eye of beholder, as someone says, or it is the beautiful object itself? Have you ever been faced with this question? Well, aesthetics study these questions. Despite the fact that aesthetic rose to be a separate branch of philosophy in 18th century, previous exchange on beauty can be found in the dialogue of Greek masterpieces Plato and Aristotle. Their aesthetical views are coupled with their view on art. This is quite obvious because we experience the marvel of beauty not only in the natural setting, landscape, but also in the work of art. Man does not create beautiful in nature, but he creates work of art. The appreciator and the creator of beauty is an intrinsic sign of man. Plato and Aristotle regard beauty as a property of the object, meaning beauty does not depend on a person's attitude or an experience from them. They associate beauty with the form, the symmetry, etc. of an object. Modern philosophers, however, were inclined to reject the idea that beauty lies absolutely in the object. Humanity. Human curiosity and human need gave birth to numerous branches of knowledge. These branches, discipline of knowledge, can on the whole be categorized into formal science, natural science, social science and humanity. Mathematics, logic and formal science, physics, geology, astronomy and chemistry are physical science. Biology, zoology, botany are natural science. Economics, politics, psychology and sociology are social science. Philosophy comes under humanity along with language, linguistics, etc. Humanity, as the name suggests, study the realm of human experience, society and culture. Social science and humanity share this commandment. However, humanity do not use empirical methods. They employ critical and rationalistic methods. They consider subjects that are vital to the understanding of human life. They haven't yet fully merged into science. They discuss matters such as understanding of the self, communication, critical thinking, evaluation, multicultural sensitivity, artistic and aesthetic sensibility of citizenship, moral sensitivity, etc. It shows many paths to answer this question, such as what does it really mean to be human? What are the characteristics of human being? How can human experience be interpreted and analyzed? The study of humanity, shape, skill and abilities necessary in all the fields of knowledge. Abilities that are required to be put life on social and individual plane. This kind of study develops our personality. There are some other branches of philosophy also. We have some idea of vastness of philosophy when we inform ourselves on a multitude of its branches and sub-branches. There are plenty that cite the five major branches we briefly viewed. Human being become a center of the thought in the period which is called modernity in history. Thinker grew confident in belief that the society, the state has been created by man and she is fully competent in them. They gave rise to fields such as social, philosophical, political, religious philosophy, etc. The nature of philosophy changed around 20th century. Language-related thought grew predominant. Philosophy took upon itself the function of conducting an in-depth study of the subject along with its methodology. The new trends such as analytical philosophy, logical imperialism, phenomenal pragmatism come into being. These changing global currents at the end of the 19th century caused a renewal of interest in socio-political philosophy, and socialism, Marxism rose to prominence. Political upheaval and the effects of the World War left deep mark on the essential philosophy of the 20th century. Socio-political philosophy of the later 20th century evoked the need to turn to ethics for answer. The requirement produced a sub-branch called applied ethics, which include environmental ethics, medical ethics, business ethics, media ethics, etc. Moreover, stream of thought such as feminism, multiculturalism entered the train of philosophy. In short, every sphere of life is closely connected to philosophy. Philosophy has contributed to all the fields. If you are interested in any of these studies, study of philosophy would enhance your understanding to it. Philosophy guides us to deal with some of the most problems of life.